guys, Ollie here, and today we're back with Rare Month, our month-long celebration of all things Rareware. We'll be looking at many of the legendary developers' games all through the month leading up to the release of Rare Replay on August 4th, so be sure to subscribe and check back for all our reviews over the coming month. Today we're taking a look at what I consider to be perhaps Rare's most underrated title. This is Kameo, Elements of Power. Originally conceptualized as a GameCube title before the sale to Microsoft in 2002, Kameo was moved to the original Xbox, then subsequently to the 360 late in its development. Kameo launched alongside the Xbox 360 on November 22, 2005, and was, for whatever reason, forgotten fairly quickly. This is something I've never really understood, as the title has all the hallmarks of a great Rare game. It's got an expansive world, great character designs, and a fantastic soundtrack. Yet despite this, the game never really caught on, and had its planned sequel subsequently cancelled. Which really is a shame, as there's so many great things about this game. In any case, 10 years on, does Kameo Elements of Power still have the element of fun, or should you steer clear of this fabled fairy tale? Let's find out. The story begins with the titular character storming the castle of the Troll King Thorn to save her family, only to discover her sister Klaus has betrayed the kingdom and sided with the Green Menace. She is promptly defeated and stripped of her powers. From here you are woken by the Mystic. She gives you the lowdown on the kingdom, and then you are gifted a magical book called the Whatnot, with the task of returning the elemental sprites to the book and restoring Kameo's elemental powers. From here on out, it's a very average fantasy tale. There's not really any major plot twists or anything, but I'd argue it's really not necessary. In typical Rare fashion, the game is very lighthearted and genuinely fun to go through. If you don't go in expecting anything Tolkien caliber, you'll be pleasantly surprised. I promise. Kameo, while sharing some similarities with many of Rare's other platformers, is more of an action game in my own opinion. The game is based around the mechanic of transforming into different creatures to complete your objectives. Sometimes you have to switch on the fly. For instance, a technique you use throughout the game is launching from a wall as the armadillo-like Major Ruin, and then quickly switching to the ape-like Chilla to grab onto an ice wall and pull yourself up. The game has many such maneuvers, and they're all generally a lot of fun to pull off. Granted, not every transformation is a winner. For instance, the underwater combat with Deep Blue can be very frustrating. You see, when I'm underwater, I expect a character to control more like a plane, essentially inverted, where to pull up you push down on the analog stick, but Deep Blue moves in whatever direction you point, which can be terribly confusing when most games, including Rare's own, do the opposite. Though you can of course get used to it. Luckily, the game is never terribly difficult, which is good for frustration's sake, but also part of the game's biggest problem. You see, Kameo is incredibly short, and can easily be run through in about 6 hours. There's a second difficulty and co-op multiplayer, but these do little to extend the replay value of the game, especially since only certain sections of the game are playable in co-op, and only after you've already completed them in single player. Apart from that, there are also side missions Kameo can complete, but if you've already beaten the game, there's little reason to do them. So I'd recommend playing as many of these as you can while you're actively going through the story for maximum playtime. Overall, Kameo's gameplay foundations are very solid, and she controls as well as any of Rare's best protagonists. Whether you're hopping around as Flex, or going all mumbo-jumbo with Pummelweed. Oh, did I mention there's a Mumbo skin? It's really great. In short, Kameo is a fun, but regrettably brief adventure. Though the game shows much of its 6th generation origins in the visual department, Kameo nonetheless remains a very nice looking title. All the character and environment designs are classic Rare, which is to say the game from the adorable elemental sprites to the vast environments looks great. About the only flaw in the visual end is that the frame rate in basically all the battle sections has regular hitches and many times teeters on the verge of a slideshow. Moving on to the music, which was composed by Steve Berkey, the tracks in Kameo are some of the most catchy stuff in any of Rare's releases. It's much bigger and more epic sounding than the more playful stuff you tend to see from Rare's other composers. The main theme where you're storming the castle has been regularly playing in my head for years now, and if that doesn't say it all, I don't know what will. Kameo, for all its flaws, is easily one of Rare's most memorable releases since being bought by Microsoft, and if you haven't given it a shot, this is a game I'd highly recommend. It has all the trademarks of a great Rare game: witty dialogue, vast worlds, wonderful art, and incredible music. Just don't expect to get more than a weekend out of it. Kameo Elements of Power gets a 4 out of 5.